So let's see what's gonna expect in here. Oh boy. Let's go. Oh, let's do this. Much better. Much better. Man, how can you find this place if you're not with a local?
Yeah, I know, you never.
What?
The air too spicy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, even the air.
I feel my throat already.
Oh no.
Let's go.
Oh no, don't even do that.
Okay, we don't need more spices tonight.
Yeah. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh no, no.
Lights? Oh, beautiful.
Wow.
Oh, watch out.
No, I think we're being taken hostage now.
Man, where are we going? He told me we were going to a rooftop, but that's another level.
Oh, watch out for a step down here.
Oh.
Oh
Wow.
my.
Okay, that's another level of rooftop. What? Hello. Let me tell you how to extend your visa in India by land. Hello. Let me tell you how to extend your visa in India by land. I'm living in Rishikesh, and Rishikesh is about 300 kilometers from Nepal, the next border. So let me tell you how this works. I plan a 3 days trip. 1 day to go there, it's not that far. Then 1 day I stay in Nepal, and then the other day I come back. That's supposed to be easy, right? That's supposed to be an average plan. I check online. There was a couple that did the same thing. They went to Mombasa and they came back, and after 1 day. So that was pretty much set. I check online if I can find a train there. Trains were not available. Bus to Mombasa straight is not available. And then I found a BlaBlaCar. Then I actually could go with a ride into a place, a city. Then was about 3 hours from the border. The journey was really nice. Let me tell you step by step. I left here in the morning. because my ride's supposed to leave 11 o'clock from Haridwar. From Haridwar, actually I left 1 p.m. plus. Yes, my ride got a little late, normal, this and that. No problem. I went for a tour around the city and tried not to get too much worry about it. Actually, I supposed to be out of India in that day. No problem. Let's go and do whatever it is. So my driver actually was quite normal for India, maybe. Quite crazy too. He reminds me when I used to play Enduro. Then you go to the fog and you just see the lights at night. It was a really foggy day. Oh, and then becomes a foggy night. And the trucks here, they have all these kinds of beautiful lights, everything like a Christmas tree around them. But sometimes they don't have backlights. So imagine you are driving in the streets here and some cows can come on the way and some trucks doesn't have light and tuk-tuks doesn't have light too. That's how I arrive in the city, thinking I was in a video game in a very hard mode. But that was not all. I was 15 kilometers from the city when he left me. And I got a ride with the couple that was riding with us in the BlaBla car. And from this ride, he left me in the city. What I was feeling like was in the middle of nothing. And I was surrounded by lots of taxi drivers and in the night. And I tried to explain to them where I want to go. I just want to go to the train station. Well, actually, it was a hostel next to the train station because there was no trains available or anything that time at night. And after a long time and kicking up some asses, I found one driver that would take me there. This driver decided to stop when it was 10 minutes to go to my place, to get to my place, in a very dark street at night. There's nothing around, but it was unusual here. And he get out of the car and just told me, "Can you give me like 500 more?" The ride was 100. And I say, "What? What's for?" He's like, "Can you give me just some money more, just 500 more?" I say, "Why? Why is for? The ride is 100. And he's like, "Can you give me 400? Can you give me 300? And he started just trying to do that. And I got to a point and actually I was kind of mad. And I say, "Bro, do you want me to get out of here and walk? I can walk. I go walking." And he was like, no. And just he went back to the car and started riding again like it was nothing. And I realized there was something strange in these rides happening all the time. But I don't know. I was just in such a peace. Then I say, just observe and let it flow. So that's what I did. When I arrived in the train station, all this calmness and everything was completely different. Oh, the streets was full of people. The train station was full of people around. Hundreds of these tuk-tuks. And of course, as a tourist, you get out there and everybody's just like coming to you, like they want to sell you anything. They want to visit. It reminds me a little bit of the things in Bali. Bali was a kind of hard to go around too because of that sometimes. And that's unusual here. That's not what I see every day here. But I got out there, find my hostel finally, and I say, okay, I was exhausted. The trip took us about 10 hours just to get there, probably. So I went just to relax, sleep, and the next day get a train. So how do you get a train when you are at foreign here in India? How How do you buy a ticket online? Nope, not easy. Not easy at all. If you don't have a specific Indian number, you just cannot buy online tickets by train. Or if you can, I have no idea how, because I tried with some friends there and tried to get some help, and there's no way I could buy by my phone. So after trying to go in the bus station and buy, in the bus station, the train station, and buy the ticket physically, if I couldn't buy online, I found out that I couldn't buy too. Actually, the guy didn't speak English, so what I understood is that I couldn't buy, because I show him my phone, like I say, hey, I need to go here, and I show everything, and he's like, no, 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 this train, no. And he told me another time we'll have a train, and I say, okay, let me buy it, and he say, no, 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 no. So I couldn't buy. What the guys in the hostel told me is then actually you have to buy just like half an hour or something before, if you buy in on the train station. And I was kind of scary because I need to be in the border the next day. I need to get out of India. If not, I will get a fine or anything like that. I didn't want to get one day late, what actually happened after. So the guys in the hostel were really nice with me, and they let me pay them, and they actually used their phones and their accounts to buy a ticket for me. Okay, problem solved. Took a shower, ate something, and slept, because my train was just going to leave about 11 o'clock in the morning again. In that night, when I was trying to buy the ticket, something really weird happens. A guy came to me, one of these orangey gurus that I have here, and something was different about him. I was smoking my bidi. Bidi is a cigarette made of leaves and just tobacco from here, just waiting my time. And this guy came to me and asked me to light his bidi, and I light it up, and he broke the bidi and threw it away. And he started telling me things. Of course, I didn't understand again, but I understood, and it was for me not to smoke anymore. And actually, I stopped smoking after that. And something was different there. And the next morning, I realized that the big tree that I was under when I was talking to him was actually a Buddha tree mixed with another tree from here. I'm gonna show you the picture of this one. And they were beautiful, beautiful. And this is just the start. Everything connects always in the end, right? So next morning, I finally took a train after about 2 hours or more of delay, and I arrived in the border. Not too easy. From the train station to the border, I got a motorbike. Then took me to the Indian border, and then from that border, it took me to the Nepali border. Good thing I took this bike. I recommend everyone, because it's definitely a long walk to do it, more than the guy described it online. In the Indian border, I found out, and actually I was 1 day late. And the trick was, the incredible news was, that actually bothered more than being in the border for just 1 day more, was that I couldn't go back by Bambasa. You cannot enter in India. You can just exit India if you are a foreign in that border now. Online, they went in and out, no problem. There was no information about that. So I realized when I was there, then the next border to return by land to India was about 13 hours bus from where I was. I say I don't have choice. I'm here already. I have to do this, and I have to go back to India. My things are all there, and I'm not. I was just with my backpack with underwear and clothes for 3 days. So yes, I got a tuk-tuk to the bus station. Nepali people are really interesting, really nice, really friendly. And I found one bus that actually would took me all the way to where I should go, leaving at 6 o'clock. I got there at exactly time. So I entered in that bus and I saw something was different. It was not a normal bus. It was like a nightclub. And the music was on most of the night too. It was crazy, crazy, crazy ride. I think the music was so loud and bumping most of the night because the bus shakes so much and it was so much noise that probably makes easier for you just to relax and sleep in that massage chair. Let's say was a massage chair. And actually, surprisingly, after hours, I end up sleeping. I was exhausted again. So after that night, we stopped sometimes at night to have a snack. And I realized I couldn't use toilets, on the way. And that was happening already since I get out of here of Rishikesh. So I didn't feel like eating at all most of the trip. I was just having chai and some snacks. That's it. I was not eating really food. I remember I ate once in that trip something. It was just rice and eggs. And I was eating as less as I could because I didn't want to go to toilet after. That was the main thing in my head. Like, I don't want to eat because I don't want to go to toilet. When I find a nice toilet, I can eat properly. It was in my mind for some reason. I couldn't really do it. So after all the trip, really, was about 13 hours in bad roads, shaking the whole time. I arrived finally next to the border, and the bus left me just in the street, like I'm getting used already right here, not in the bus station. And I took another taxi or tuk-tuk to the border. Over there again, this thing, and they try to get money from you, they try to get you there. From where the taxi left me to where I should go was just about 2 blocks. But they insisted as much as they could, so I would pay for a ride in a bike or something like this. But I was so tired and so exhausted, and I didn't want to see anyone. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just decided to walk, and I realized it was much closer than I thought. And when I enter in the immigration in Nepali border to just stamp my way out, I saw a board that say Lumbini, 24 kilometers from here. And after all that trip, I realized that actually that was why it took me so long to return to India. I say, wow, I have to go there. I remember I asked the guy in immigration until what time he would be open, and say 24 hours. I say, oh man, I will go to Lumbini and come back. I'm here already, so after all this, I have to go there. I have to see it. Lumbini is the city that Buddha was born. And just some weeks before I was posting my video of my introduction to meditation to a Buddhist Thai temple in New Zealand, I was really connected to that. I was really happy. And so I got the bus to Lumbini. Lots of buses in the street. Another crazy Nepali bus. And when I arrived at the same thing, the village, all the surrounded by people trying to, make money from you and all this stuff, and I wanted to get away from that. And when I got in the place where Buddha was born, where it's actually a protected area, the government take over, and again they brought us all these things and happen here sometimes, and the tourists have to pay really a lot more. We're talking, for normal people they charge 20, for me they charge 700. And this bothers you sometimes. Some people don't get bothered here. Some people think, oh yes, they are so poor and this like that. And I just say, if the government teach people to extort from you, that justifies people to do that all the time. And it's not I haven't been in any other country that I felt so much like that. So I always was in a meditation mode. I always was kind of different, feeling. I didn't know if I was so exhausted and I was so calm, so tired from all this trip, or I don't know what was on me, but I was feeling completely chill with everything and just saying, let it go, let it go, let it flow. I was ready for whatever it took me to just go back to India, and I was focused in this passport thing, just to stamp my passport and come back. But in the same way, my mind was just saying, let it flow, let it go. And when I entered in the place and supposed to be where was Buddha was born, is an area where was his father's castle. I decided to do a meditation there. And in that meditation, I went really, really deep. But I knew I was supposed to stay there overnight. I knew that moment was really special, and I want to stay more in that. I want to live a little more of this. So I walk around the village of Lumbini, that actually is like a capital of Buddhists in the planet. We can see Buddhist temples from everywhere around, like a kind of artificial lake that they made. Then connects to the place where Buddha was born. And after walking around, I was feeling like, I need a quiet place to stay. I don't want to stay in a hotel or a hostel, I want a place just to meditate and be quiet and stay here overnight. I was thinking about little Buddha when he was young, when he was not enlightened yet, just going around as a prince. And this guy then was just asking me for money all the time and just coming to me for that. I was thinking, did this happen to Buddha too? He was a prince, he was a rich guy. For the eyes of the normal people, probably look at him and just want his money. He didn't look him as just a prince. I don't know how was his childhood. Probably was inside a castle. I know he just get out when he was older. But what did the people thought about him when he got out? They really just saw him as a rich prince, and should they give money to them or something like this? I don't know, this thought was in my mind when I was there, because I was feeling kind of this kind of feeling when I was walking around. I wasn't feeling good about all these people just trying to sell you something, like a tourist place in a sacred place. I sit down after these walkings and these thoughts and these meditations to have a coffee, and I met some locals in a random cafe shop, and I asked them if I could find a place to stay overnight and was quiet and was away from the village. They recommend me to go to the Korean temple. They say, oh, go to the Korean temple. They accept donations and it's pretty quiet. You have food, you have everything there. And I thought, whoa, if the Korean temple do that, maybe the Thai temple do too. My connection with the Thai people is so nice, then it would be amazing if I can do that. And I haven't been to the Thai temple yet so far. So I went straight after that to the Thai temple, and the energy already filled me up. I asked the security people to talk to a monk, so to see if I can stay there. And as soon as I talked to the monk, like I remember my times in New Zealand, he just smiled, he checked, like in 1 minute he checked if he had a room for me, and he said, yes, there is one room available for you. We serve dinner at soon. You can have a coffee here. He gave me the key for the room, and I asked him about the meditations because I couldn't, of course, I couldn't get out of there without doing this proper meditation. And I got the meditation at night, and I got the meditation in the morning. The hotel, the room they gave me was like a amazing 5-star hotel room, and I felt at home, at home, and exactly what my heart was feeling to be. The meditation was really amazing. It took me to the times I did meditation in New Zealand. The chantings are the same. I asked the monk in the morning if I could record there, so I'm going to share there with you in the end of the video. And I was just in a blast. I cannot describe everything that went through me and everything that happens there, and maybe the whole trip, because it took me a while when I came back to Rishikesh after that trip, just to sink back again, just to understand everything that I went through, and I saw how everything was connected to something higher than just exchange my visa, and how I was guided to the place. It's amazing when you let it flow things, and just you receive such a present in the end. So not just a present, but a whole lesson I receive in this journey. For me, it's very hard to let it grow, and it's very hard when things that I used to plan doesn't go as much as I wish. And some things I like to be really practical and just do it. Like this trip was just to be something practical. But when I let it flow, it actually becomes something magical. Which was really, really crazy, really, really amazing. After that, after this one day of blessings, I realized so many things, and I was so much more calmer about the trip. So I went back to the border, I stamped my Nepali visa, I stamped my Indian went back, and the first bus I could get to start returning back was to Lucknow. It was a long trip just to the bus station to get to the bus to the Lucknow. And when I got to Lucknow, there was a whole day traveling. I was again so exhausted, and I decided to stay in a hotel, and I found out, nope, no tourists stay here, no foreigners here. The hotels were like about 4 or 5 nice hotels just in front of the bus station. And they just say, no, you're not allowed to stay in a hotel. Two things that I saw in the street that I never saw in my life: a border that you just go in, you cannot come out, and a hotel that doesn't allow foreigners to stay. And they couldn't explain me why. They just say, no, foreigners are not allowed here. Nope, go to another area. Another area could stay, but not in that area. And I was so tired. I just decided to go back to the bus station, get the first bus. Doesn't matter. I didn't want to get another junkie bus, but I say, okay, I just want to get out of here now. So I got the first bus back to Delhi. I, I already traveled the whole night till I get to Delhi. It was a 12 hours plus travel. Arrive in Delhi, tried to buy my SIM card because here the government block your card after 3 months. Yes, they block your telephone number after 3 months. So I was trying to get another SIM card just to have my online again. I had no internet during the whole time in Nepal and my way back in India. So I couldn't research anything. I didn't even know where I was going sometimes. And we are just dependent of Google all the time, and internet. So I find out that I should go to the company, to the Airtel company here. Then I have my SIMs. And I asked them if I could keep my number because this is very important for you. Today, everything is in your number, right? Your bank account, your verification numbers, everything. I use this number to do it. So they told me if I stay one day, night in Delhi, they will solve this and try to get my number back. I went to a hostel there. I decided to stay for one night in Delhi. I don't like to stay in Delhi at all. And in the hostel, the vibe was so nice. And the guys in the hostel invite me to go for a tour in the old Delhi. I was tired, but that was during the day. And I say, well, I will not sleep the whole day and the whole night. So let's go. And I went with these amazing people for a tour in Delhi. Then took me to some places that I would never go if it was not with locals. Definitely amazing places to see it in Delhi, but you have to be a local to find these places. It's crazy how to get there. And next day, as it promised, I fixed my phone problem, got my number back, and returned finally to Rishikesh and Tapovan, where I am right now. So this trip was just something amazing. It was not 1,300 kilometers like was measured in my route. It was about 2,000 kilometers, and most of that doing by bus. And this buses was not the best buses to get to do this trip. And the roads are here are sometimes so bad, like in Nepal and other places was so bad. From Lucknow to Delhi was okay. Then it take hours to do some few kilometers sometimes. So the measured distance is like crazy, 300 kilometers you can do sometimes in 6-7 hours. And that what it is like that. So this country is huge, the dimensions are huge, but because of the lack of infrastructure, and I say they are building roads everywhere. They are definitely putting a lot of infrastructure here. But until you get there, you have to be very patient and wait for a long trip if you're going by land. And it was just magical. The whole trip was just magical. When I arrived here back, then I settled down. I was still with this amazing vibe on me, this amazing connection with Buddha. And the only thing that was in my mind was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was, it is amazing to see what life can give you when you just let it flow things. And for some people, and for me actually, this is a very hard practice. So I will try to practice more and more the let it flow, let it flow, let it flow, and let the universe show me what's coming, what is in there for me. Because to be guided, to be in the birthplace of Buddha in a time that I wasn't expecting at all, and receive such an amazing energy there, And I cannot describe. I cannot describe how amazing was that. I remember when I was in the temple, I called one of my friends in New Zealand just to share a little bit of that with her, because I know that if you are Buddhist, you understand this happiness and love and this amazing gift that is to be in a place like that and to do a meditation in a place like that. And it's, I cannot describe in words how amazing is that. It's hard for me sometimes to describe here in Rishikesh to people how amazing it is to be here and how amazing it is to connect with the spirituality here. How amazing is to see people celebrating, for example, the temple that opened yesterday here was celebrated in the whole city and the whole India, as people just usually celebrate in the final of a soccer game in other countries. It was amazing. It's amazing to see this love going around the spirituality here and how people embrace that in their lives. And this is the thing that I think I noticed first when I arrived in India, and I told people, don't look in the outside, look in the inside, because people here behave different. You know, it's something in different than a usual person have, and that makes me fall in love with the place. It's always the people that make me fall in love with the place. So let me continue the journey and tell you more about my next adventures in the next time. So thank you very much for now. I hope this video is not too long again. And enjoy this view.